Are you ready to get your fix?
With the Wicks here on this beautiful Wednesday, November 9th, 2022, and welcome to the show. If this is your first time here, we talk all things NFL related, and we also do some watch parties here and there. So if that's something you would like, consider hitting that subscribe as we're trying to reach 200 subs because we finally hit our goal of 150. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. Now today, being that it's Wednesday, we talk about this basically the last couple weeks now. It is time for the power rankings and my game picks of week 10. We'll dive through it. I'll give you some explanation as to why I did pick the teams I did or why I put the teams I did in the power rankings. So we have to get right to it. Let's start with 32, making our way to number 1 for the power rankings before we get to the game picks. So here we go. At 32, we have the Indianapolis Colts down 4 spots. This team is horrible, okay? No other way to say it, but this team is very, very bad. They fire head coach Frank Reich. They bring in interim head coach Jeff Saturday, who only has coaching experience at the high school level, where his team went 3-7. We'll see how they do the rest of the season. At 31, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers staying right where they were last week because they did have a bye. At 30, we have the Houston Texans also staying put right where they were last week because I believe they had a bye as well. Then we have at 29, the Denver Broncos staying put just like they did last week at that 29 spot. At 28, down 1 spot, the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, this team, not great football at all, okay, from them at least the past couple weeks. They have to figure something out. I'm not sure really what that is that they're going to have to figure out, but they did lose. So at 27, up 5 spots after beating the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay might be dead, okay? The Lions get a big win, 15-9, and they move up to number 27 on my power rankings. At 26, the Atlanta Falcons down 2 spots. This team, again, they beat the teams they should beat and lose to the teams that they should lose to, basically. It's not a good football team at all, and they're not really going to be a shocker, okay? At 25, up 1 spot after having a decent performance against the Minnesota Vikings, the Washington Commanders, and they seem like they got something going with quarterback Taylor Heineke. At 24, we have the Las Vegas Raiders down 2 spots. Look, what is going on with this organization? Josh McDaniels, I don't know if he has what it takes to be a head coach in this league. You have the weapons, you just don't know how to use them. Okay. At 23, up 2 spots, the Chicago Bears lost to the Miami Dolphins 35-32, but put up a miraculous fight literally until the very end. This is a good Bears team at times. This offense, I bet you in the next 5 years, the Bears will be putting up a fight for the NFC North. Guaranteed. At 22, down 4 spots, this team stinks. Some moldy cheese, if you will. The Green Bay Packers down 4 spots. You can't lose to the Lions. Worst defense ever, basically, in the history of the NFL, and you find a way to lose. Yikes. At 21, up 2 spots, the Jacksonville Jaguars, looking okay. At 20, down 1 spot, the Cleveland Browns. I believe they had a bye last week. However, I had to move them down, I think, because there was a team that was above them that I think is just a little bit better. At 19, down 2 spots, the New Orleans Saints. They lose to the Baltimore Ravens on Monday Night Football. Have to be a little bit better. Have to be. They have to figure out who their starting quarterback is going to be down the road. They lose Michael Thomas, yada, yada, yada. That defense should be making plays. They're not doing that much. Now at 18, the Los Angeles Rams down 3 spots after winning the Super Bowl last year. This team has been in complete shambles. Not the greatest thing in the world to watch. They're at 18. At 17, the Los Angeles Chargers, also down 3 spots. Very overrated team. They think they're going to do something, and they never do. Okay, they have the weapons just like the Rams. They just can't make noise. And that's been literally the history of their franchise. At 16, the New England Patriots up 2 spots. I had them at 18 last week. Move them up this one because they absolutely demolished the Indianapolis Colts 26-3. I didn't move them up further due to the fact that they beat the Colts. Okay, anybody could beat the Colts. Literally, I honestly believe Alabama could probably beat the Colts. Okay, maybe not. But at the same time, it is what it is. Patriots at 16. At 15, down 4 spots, the Arizona Cardinals. This team, they just can't find a way to get it done. That's literally what it all boils down to. Seattle has a nice tight lead on the NFC North or NFC West division, And Arizona just has to figure it out. By the way, Hard Knocks in season starts tonight featuring the Arizona Cardinals. Hope you guys are tuning in for that. I know I will. At 14, the New York Jets up 6 spots. They upset the Buffalo Bills. Who would have thought that was going to happen? Not me, okay? The Jets might be for real. They might be for real. You never know. But great win overall. They're at 14. At 13, down 3 spots, the Tennessee Titans. One of those teams that they're good, but they're not good enough right now, okay? They just have to figure out to play a little bit more fundamentally sound football, and they'll be just fine. At 12, up 4 spots, the Seattle Seahawks. They're balling. They're 6-3 on the season. They have the lead in the NFC West division. I like what this team brings with Geno Smith, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. That offense flying around, making plays. The rookies they drafted look phenomenal. So they're at 12. I didn't even put that there. At 11, the Cincinnati Bengals up 2 spots. This team, they crushed their opponent, the Carolina Panthers. Absolutely crushed them. That's why they moved up. At 10, up 2 spots, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get a pretty decent win over the Los Angeles Rams. About time Tom Brady, gets a dub. Like he said at the podium, that was awesome. That was fucking awesome. That is what he said. Okay, at number 9, at number 8, and number 7, these teams all stayed right where they were. The Dolphins at 9, the Giants at 8, and the Baltimore Ravens at 7. I could have moved the Ravens higher because they did beat the Saints. I just feel like these top 6 teams are just a little bit better. So let's get to those top 6, shall we? At number 6, staying right where they were last week, the San Francisco 49ers. They were on a bye, so they're staying right there. At number 5, the Dallas Cowboys. At 4, down 2 spots. This was the tough one for me. I wanted to put them at 3. However, when you lose to the Jets, a historically bad team, you have to second guess yourself. They had Josh Allen in the lineup, which they might not this week. But they're now 6-2. So I moved them down to number 4. And the team above them is the team that I probably would have switched with them. But I didn't. The Minnesota Vikings. Yes, I get it. Okay, they have beat not great teams this season. I understand that. However, in the National Football League, a dub is a dub. Plain and simple. Everyone cares and cries and says this team sucks when you start losing. But when you start winning, you get hope. And by this time in the season, you have built your identity. The Vikings win ball games, whether it's close or not. They're at 3. At number 2, up 1 spot, the Kansas City Chiefs. They beat the Titans. The Bills lose. That's what shifted them up to number 2. And like the last couple weeks, at least the last 6-7 weeks now, the Philadelphia Eagles hold my home number 1 spot in the Week 10 power rankings. So now let's shift gears over to this week's game picks. They're done by myself, Y-4, John, who was on the show a little bit last year. Hasn't been on this season, but we might bring him on eventually. Who knows? But he is also doing the picks. Logan Baumgart also has been on the show last year. He is also making these picks with us. So we'll see what happens. Let's get to it. These are not against the spread in any way. This is just who we think is going to win this game outright. Who is the better team and who do we have winning? Let's get to it with the Week 10 game picks. Starting with Thursday Night Football, the Falcons at the Panthers. Look, Logan picked the Panthers to win this game. Me and John picked the Falcons for the sole fact that they look like the better team. The last time they played, it went right down to the wire. The Panthers screwed it away or blew it away, and Falcons got the dub, which I believe they will as well. And then we have the Seahawks at the Bucks. Seahawks are rolling, so I don't blame Logan for taking them. However, I think Tom Brady, after getting that win, got that taste of winning back in his mouth, okay? When he said, that's awesome. That's fucking awesome. You know he means business. Tampa gets the win for me and John. Then we have the Vikings at the Buffalo Bills. John and Logan chose the Bills, which they might be right because this is a good team. Very, very good team. This could be the tough test for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, being a fan of the Minnesota Vikings and running the Minnesota Vikings syndicate, I believe in this team. They're 7-1. I believe they have a chance at beating this Buffalo Bills team in Buffalo. It's very doable. We just got to go out there and play our best football or play their best football. I chose the Vikes. John and Logan have the Bills. Then we have the we have the Lions at the Bears. This is an easy one. The Bears been playing good. The Lions not so much, even though they did win last week. Bears win. Then we have the Broncos at the Tennessee Titans. Broncos, this is the same situation as the game before. Not playing good. Titans win this one. Then the Jacksonville Jaguars go and take on the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium or at GEH Stadium in Arrowhead, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Chiefs win. And we have the Browns at the Miami Dolphins. Now, Logan, being a diehard Browns fan, chose the Browns because why not roll with your team? You might as well. And they could win. You never know. However, me and John think the Miami Dolphins are going to win because they are the better team. Plain and simple. Then we have the Texans at the New York Giants. Okay, Texans stink. Giants on a roll. Giants get a dub. Easy, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Then we have the Saints at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers. Hey, apparently they might get TJ Watt back here in the next couple weeks or something like that. But the Saints are the better team. They get the win. Then we have the Colts at the Las Vegas Raiders. John and Logan probably picked the right choice right here in having the Raiders win. I chose the Colts. I chose the Colts kind of going against my gut because I felt like with a new interim head coach, maybe that locker room gets fired up. Maybe they do some things up or dial some things up that looks a little bit different than the past, 9 weeks at this point. Maybe they have a heavier dose of run and blah, blah, blah. I think this team will be able to rally. I think they'll be able to get a win and have Jeff Saturday's debut as an NFL head coach end in a win. So then we have the Dallas Cowboys at the Green Bay Packers. Logan chose the Packers, even though they stink. That's why John and I chose the Dallas Cowboys. And John's a diehard Packers fan. So that tells you something. He don't believe that Green Bay's better than Dallas. And they're not. Dallas wins. Then we have the Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams. Logan chose the Rams, which I could see that happening. John and I chose the Cardinals. I chose them for the simple fact that Hard Knocks is tonight in season with the Arizona Cardinals. Why not start it off with a dub? You got all this hype built around it. We've seen the Buda Baker press conference or that speech that he was in the locker room spitting all over everywhere. I'm sick and tired, man. I'm sick and tired of losing. Yeah, Cardinals win. Then for Sunday night football, the Chargers go to the Levi Stadium to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Chargers, they stink. They're an overrated football team. They won't win this one. Niners get the dub. Then for Monday night football, we have the Washington Commanders traveling to Philadelphia to take on the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. That's all I need to say. Undefeated. They're going to stay that way. Eagles win this one. 4 teams on the bye: the Bengals, the Patriots, the Jets, and the Ravens. Those teams will most likely stay put in the next week power rankings because they didn't play anybody, but we'll see. So make sure to tune in next week. And most importantly, tune in tomorrow. We'll be live. We'll have a watch party for that Thursday night matchup between the Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. I expect a good game. Hopefully Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit get a good one to call. Anyways, make sure to drop a like. Leave a comment on what you would change and if you agree with my power rankings and game picks. And also hit that subscribe as we're trying to reach 200 subs by December 1st. Have a great rest of your night. And you just got your fix with the Wicks.